Ask yourself, were you put on earth to not think for yourself? Were we put here to borrow ideas and to think like other people? To have outlooks that have already been established from the past? No. Correct? Were you put here on earth to think for yourself or to think like others? To think for yourself, which means you have to. It's incumbent upon you to be human. It's part of why you're here, part of your purpose. Part of your reason for being is to think for yourselves, to cultivate your own mind and brain. Humans are the only ones that can think critically and can actually write down their thoughts and come up with their own conclusions, their own insights, their own nuggets of truth, and their own paths to knowledge. And maybe that knowledge has already been established or discovered by other people, but there's nothing more satisfying than doing it on your own. And I think not only we're supposed to, that our religion, our true religion as free-thinking individuals, as human beings, is to apply our critical thinking, to apply our minds to everything, especially our own journeys, because nobody else's journey is like ours. Nobody else has our traits. Nobody else has our problems, traumas, challenges, and faults. Therefore, only we can come up with our own strategies, etc. This was already mentioned in the previous podcast. But I think really what I want to emphasize is that not only are we not supposed to just adopt religions blindly, we are expected by the universe, by the creator, whoever that is, we are expected to apply our brains. And if we do not, that is a form of sin, that's detrimental, that does not push humanity forward. If we're just buying into, believing, and adopting everything that's come before, all the beliefs and outlooks, then we're not moving forward. We're just staying in the past. And everybody says, don't focus on the past, and yet they want you to adopt philosophies that were established in the past, to borrow ideas. In fact, everyone else wants you to think like them, right? Especially leaders, preachers, people that love to hear themselves talk. And that's what's gotten us collectively where we are. So to get ourselves out of any sort of collective challenge globally, whether it's political, economic, socially, is to think for ourselves. That's the solution to your problems. That is how you meet your challenges. That's how you overcome your challenges, traumas, problems, and your faults, because your collection of attributes, your suffering, is uniquely yours. So how can you apply anyone else's ideas about how you should get through something? So, and how we collectively should get through our collective challenges is a bunch of individuals thinking for themselves and exchanging those ideas, being challenged even on our own thoughts, and moving forward collectively. Every relationship does, every healthy, constructive relationship does this already. Every conversation, if it's quality, is an exchange of stories, anecdotes, biographies, ideas, so that both parties grow. We're meant to grow. We don't really truly know our purpose on earth, but we can, by process of elimination, eliminate what our purpose is not. And that's not to remain stagnant, not to regress, not to just be a carbon cutout, a print, a reprint, a misprint of the past, of other people, other thinkers, other leaders, etc., other individuals. That's not part of our purpose. We can eliminate those. Therefore, by default, as a result, part of our purpose is to cultivate our own thoughts and ideas and outlooks and create, and not be in fear of that, not be afraid. We're taught very young to be afraid of our own impulses, our own thoughts, and to just shut up, sit down, and listen to authority, to people who know better, people who know more about how to live. School doesn't teach you how to live. It teaches you reading, writing, arithmetic, science, biology, geography, math, calculus, algebra, geometry, history. It doesn't teach you how to live, though. Religion teaches you to believe in certain things and to have a self-concept of being a bad person, a sinner, and that you have to worship something greater than you. No, that thing that's greater than you, that created you, wants you to worship what that creator bestowed upon you, which is the ability to think for yourself and grow, the ability to grow, the ability to take on life's challenges and have the strength. And the strength comes from nowhere but within. That's what the creator bestowed upon us and gifted us, was these abilities to solve our own problems with the brains that we were given, and the mind, and the ability to think. And so, yes, it's part of your purpose. Not only should you not reject other people's dogma, other people's narratives, other people's values and outlooks, not only should you not, well, you should question them, and you should be allowed to reject them with confidence and not care about losing the affiliation, the friendship, the kinship in doing so. Because oftentimes we'll just adopt other views so that we're liked, we're approved, we're accepted, and we have a group, and that we're connected, and that, yes, we all think this way, right? So we sacrifice authenticity for acceptance. But I don't think that that's our purpose. I think that that's a challenge. It's all of our challenges, which is why most people fail that challenge, because what they do is they abandon their ability to think for themselves so that they have acceptance, because that feels better. And then they'll love themselves accordingly. Whereas it should be the reverse. Because you love yourself, you can reject the idea of having to be accepted. You won't need that. You will not have the need to be accepted. You will have the need to cultivate your own outlooks and thoughts, and have the confidence and self-love to express them and pursue what you believe is good and right, and to speak what you believe is the truth based on your experiences and observations, and not those of other people. Religion comes from our experiences. Religion meaning the strategies we apply to our own lives, how we live, our values, our outlooks, our morals, our ethics, our virtues, whether we speak out against authority or not, which is our religion. We cultivate through trial and error, through experiences, through observations, through failures and successes. And that's how you forge an identity. And through forging that identity, you will attract people who are like-minded, who admire that in you because you're different. We're all different. We're all born different, and we're not meant to relinquish that difference just to conform and be accepted. So we're here to reject groupthink. We're here to reject people who oppress us with their ideas and thoughts and pressure us through violence to think like them and believe like them. Violence being, rejection, everything from rejection to imprisonment to murder. And that's part of our purpose, is to think for ourselves. And I think that that's how you should see it. Therefore, think, write, cultivate your own Bible that applies to your life, and continually correct and update and upgrade it, right? We're continually upgrading, updating. What's that word? Switching up or whatever. That's what we're meant to do.